Welcome to all the Gemini rising signs of the zodiac to your April astrology. I'm Cosmic Girl. Trust you're doing well. So, in this video, I'm going to be unpacking the planets in transits that are closely and intimately affecting you because we're following your ruling planet Mercury and its transit throughout the month of April in this video for you. Well, a lot of the action for you, Gemini rising, is happening in the angular parts of your chart. When you have planets transiting through angular parts of your chart or affecting the angles in your chart, which they are at this time, it's hard going. And these planets in the angles for you always indicate that there's something quite loud and prominent happening in your life. You've got Jupiter in your first house in detriment. You've got Mercury in your 10th house in detriment and in fall. Jupiter rules your 7th house of Sagittarius, which is other people. And Mercury, your ruling planet, in the 10th house of Pisces in detriment and in fall, also rules the 4th house of home, family, and parents. So these angles are loud for you as a Gemini rising in the month of April, as it was in March. So I'm hoping to put you at ease in this video in regards to all of the exacerbating action and what you can expect moving forward and how things are going to start to pan out and play out for you through the lens of astrology. Let's get into it, Gemini rising. From the 7th of April to the 15th of April, Mars is trining your ruling planet Mercury. When Mars and Mercury get together, and they're in an aspect which is a trine. This is a harmonious aspect. This means things are easy to connect. So it won't be difficult to feel unsure and disoriented from the 7th to the 15th. This is affirmative information and action that gives you sure footing and stability. So information's coming in hard and fast from the 7th to the 15th of April that's benefiting you. So what is the benefit that you can experience when you've got something easy and flowing? Well, Mars is in Cancer and finishing up a very long cycle in Cancer in the house for you, which is the second house of possessions, assets, finance, and things that support you, and the house of our skill sets, like things that we learn that bring us in actual tangible resources that support us, because that second house supports the first house, Gemini rising. So Mars in Cancer is giving you almost the go ahead to execute a plan and make something happen in regards to ending, cutting away from something financial, an asset or a possession that has been hard to disentangle yourself from. So this could be like trying to get out of a work contract, trying to end some sort of big argument or problem with a superior in your life, like a government official. This is also the end of like your public name, like you may be trying to end a marriage or get out of some sort of bind regarding how you are publicly affected by assets, possessions, or finances. So the 7th to the 15th is good to take action to finally cut away from something that's been quite emotionally draining for you and holding you back and making you feel insecure. From the 7th to the 15th, this is the time frame for you where it's easy for you to let go of something that's been quite public or really playing on your name, your sense of self in the workplace or a professional endeavor. And again, even with a superior, someone that's been really hammering down the anvil to you. It's easy to dissolve and come to some sort of resolution now from the 7th to the 15th of April. Whilst that's going on, on the 10th, we have Venus going direct. Now, Venus has been traveling very close to your ruling planet, Mercury. And what's beneficial about that is Venus is the planet that is about understanding value, understanding relationship, understanding what you want to grow and what you want to harmonize with and have a relationship with. So I'm sure Venus has been helping you see the value and the benefit of playing nice. So on the 10th of April, when she goes direct in your 10th house, near your ruling planet Mercury, this indicates moving forward, because Venus will be moving forward for the rest of April in direct motion in your 10th house. This is great, Gemini rising, for feeling that you can finally exhale and that you've worked out a dispute or an argument or a value system. So you could be feeling like you finally crunch the numbers and you're getting your money's worth when it comes to your career or what you do on the job. Like you've had a conversation about finances. I'm worth more, I deserve more, and now Venus is direct and you're getting more money. Or you end a money dispute. You now feel like you're on the right track with your career. You feel like you're more flow now that Venus is direct in your 10th house, really close to your ruling planet Mercury. So I'm sure, through the lens of astrology at least, that things are starting to settle down when it comes to superiors, conflicts, arguments, feeling drained energetically, and potentially how it's affecting you publicly or your public name. So that's also beneficial for you, Gemini rising. On the 13th, we have a full moon in Libra, and a full moon is the part of the moon cycle where we get a lot of intel, a lot of information, and it's emotional information. It's important information. Full moons are all about, this is where the result is of something, and you can see it in its entirety. And it's in Libra, which is so beautiful. And Libra is actually ruled by Venus, which is in that 10th house of yours near your ruling planet Mercury. And Venus is exalted in Pisces. So we've got a very happy Venus. So on the 13th, when we have that full moon in Libra, ruled by Venus in the 10th house, and it's in your 5th house, this is big, because that 5th house for you as a Gemini rising is the house of where you have pleasure, where you have joy. And this full moon is showing you the results of pleasure and joy, what's come to fruition, what's coming to a close or an ending of a cycle. This could be a relationship, something for a child, if applicable. This could be the birth of a child. This could be you announcing that you're pregnant, potentially. It's also where you see results in regarding any legal disputes or unfairness connected to children or intimate relationships, or even hobbies. Like you might be finishing a sporting journey, for example, or you win an award publicly regarding your sports team, or something you've been doing creatively on your own, get some sort of accolade as well. That's a big potential on the 13th of April. But when we're talking about a full moon in Libra, Libra is all about the scales of balance and harmony, fairness, and equality. So those connections to Libra, I wonder for you, Gemini rising, if there's something happening for a child or an intimate relationship for you where they're ending maybe a legal dispute, or they're finally having things settled down for them, if applicable, and you get the benefit for you is you get joy from watching a partner or a child have their moment in the spotlight. So you get to celebrate on the 13th of April. And obviously knowing not obviously, but if you know your natal planets in your 5th house, that will give you a more holistic understanding of what could be coming to its fruition, the the moment of celebration point, if you will. But I would suspect that you're in for a pretty big moment on the 13th, whether it's you in the public spotlight, a child, or a romantic partnership. Something's coming into balance and harmony here, and it might be the end of something that has been ongoing for some time. On April 16, your ruling planet moves back into the zodiac sign of Aries, your 11th house. Mercury's already been in Aries for a little bit and has retrograded back into your 10th house. So now your ruling planet's going back into the 11th house from the 16th of April to May 10. And this is good because now Mercury, your ruling planet's off the angle part of your natal chart. And we know that Mercury rules your first house and your fourth house. So things can start to move more quickly in regards to taking action about a home, family, a parent, a social connection, a dream or goal, a professional ally. Things are looking easy to deal with regarding getting the paperwork, getting the logistics, getting the costs, taking action, and maybe even being more social than you've been for a little while as well. Social events in the home, parents having social events, or potentially you networking and trying to find a great real estate deal is a possibility too now that Mercury, your ruling planet, is in Aries from April 16 to May 10. On the 18th of April to June 16, Mars is going back into Leo. Mars has too also been in Leo for a little bit, but now goes back into your third house. And your third house is a busy part of your natal chart. And why is it busy? Because it's about siblings and things that are closer to home to us, the things that we know that are familiar, like our coffee shop, our route to work, etc. It's also to do with siblings, travel, and education. So Mars from the 18th of April to June 16 is really beneficial for taking the initiative in your local environment and things that are closer to home to you. So start reconnecting with your siblings again. It's been all work and no play. Maybe you need to start interacting with your siblings again. Maybe you need to start traveling a bit more, which I think you will be doing because your ruling planet is in the 11th house of social connection. So you might be more prone to getting out more and have social engagements and some fun. You also might be ready to embark on an educational journey. So you might want to start a course. It could be online or it could be in a community college or even a university. With Mars in Leo in your third house, there's action and it's time to start moving. So I think you'll be on the move and really start to loosen up a bit from the 18th to the June 16th. On the 17th, your ruling planet Mercury conjuncts Neptune. So we know that Neptune has only, may not all know, but Neptune's only newly into Aries, and Neptune hasn't been in Aries for 165 years. So it's a big deal. And you now have Neptune in your house of good spirit, which is your social connections, your hopes and wishes and alliances. But we also know that Mercury rules you and that fourth house. So on the 17th, when Mercury conjuncts Neptune, this can be dissolving of something for a parent, a home, or a family unit. This could be the end of you identifying with a social connection or a group or a friend. So you might be saying, I'm really not engaging anymore. I just want to cut away. So you might be doing things like potentially relocating or wanting to end a social contract that's been anchoring you for a little while, and it could have to do with a family unit or a parent as well on the 17th. So something's coming to its natural end. On the 19th, the sun ingresses into Taurus for 4 weeks, and this transit for the sun is in your 12th house. So when the sun's lighting up your 12th house, this house is a difficult house to navigate, but it's actually one of my favorites. I like detailed intricacies. And that 12th house is like it's the ghost that we just don't know about until we take the time to look at it, when we give ourselves time to process things that we skim over all the time. So from the 19th for 4 weeks, that sun is encouraging you to put a lot of energy into the 12th house, which is maybe do things in solitude, do things in isolation. So you could be working away from people, you could be taking time out from people, may also be doing things like getting into esoteric practices, wanting to go on spa days, retreat days. You may also just need a time out to go into therapy. I just want to go and speak to my guru, then that's fine. But you may also be experiencing feeling disconnection as well. And that's something we all experience every now and then. But with all the activity that you've been going through, I wouldn't be surprised if you're feeling that you need time out, or it's a bit of a lower period for you from the 19th of April for 4 weeks. When it comes to your energy level, because that sounds about the energy, but it's also about our sense of spirit. And when it's in the 12th house, we can feel that we need to get on top of things, but it can be really energetically draining. So you might just feel a dip in your energy levels from the 19th of April. On the 20th, your ruling planet Mercury sextiles Pluto. Really interesting. This is all about your beliefs, your value system. And I don't think you have any problems with this moving forward, because when Mercury line sextiles Pluto on the 20th, you sort of find the value in education, uh, your own belief systems, and what makes you tick. I think it's easy for you to possibly connect or end something legal, if at all, in your life at this time on the 20th. You may also be finding it easier to do things like inject energy into education, or maybe take up planning a travel trip as well on the 20th. So I would expect for you on the 20th as a Gemini rising that you might be having a sense of you've got bigger fish to fry, and you really feel that you need to keep engaged with the bigger things in life, which is spiritually, physically, and mentally expanding. So that means opening yourself up to education, long distance travel, foreigners, things that are foreign to you, your spiritual paths, and anything legal like visas and documents are easier to deal with on the 20th of April. Really nice day. Open your mind. From the 25th to the 28th of April, Pluto is going to oppose Mars. This is difficult, not easy. I think maybe a sibling, an educational aspect of your life, or something to do with travel is hard to connect the dots with for some reason. There's some sort of resistance going on. So sort of like a power play is what I'm getting. And it could be affecting a sibling, a travel destination, or an educational pursuit. So you might be coming up coming up against a roadblock here from the 25th to the 28th of April. This too shall pass, but it may feel like you're shouldering a lot of heavy lifting on this day, so take it easy. Maybe this power play, or feeling like you're being overpowered, or a sibling is, or something to do with travel or education, just might be the straw that breaks the camel's back in ending something that naturally needs to be released or let go of. And that could be hard to let go of a travel destination, an educational journey, or a sibling having a really tough time of letting go of something that they've believed in for a long time. So not particularly easy from the 25th to the 28th. On the 27th, we have a new moon in Taurus. The moon's exalted in Taurus, beautiful. And this new moon's happening in your 12th house, where the sun is in Taurus, of course. Now, new moons obviously very different from a full moon phase. The new moon phase is a quieter time of the month when it's in this new moon seeding point. Something's percolating beneath the surface that's not seen. So this could be like a new location, trying to get out of Dodge. Maybe you're trying to create some distance for yourself. You may want to do some travel, do things in isolation. Just may want to start creating more harmony in isolation and doing things solo from the 27th of April. Not too surprised because the sun's been there for a little while, and come the 27th, I think you might be ready to make some big moves, like again, relocating, changing up your perception of doing things in solitude. You might feel good about doing things in solitude, and that means creating a quieter space for yourself. The music's olden in Taurus. This is great. So we've got a really happy new beginning here in the 12th house of, I really love the thought of beginning something in isolation and just for me. So really nice on the 27th of April. And on the 30th of April, we have Venus ingressing back into Aries because, yes, she did retrograde. So Venus is going back in your 11th house, joining your ruling planet, Mercury. So Venus will be in Aries from the 30th of April to June 5th. With Venus in Aries, we've got a very different Venus. She's been in exaltation in the 10th house of Pisces. And when Venus gets into Aries, she's in her detriment. So she's in a zodiac sign that's contrary to her nature. So the zodiac sign, planetary ruler of Aries is Mars. Mars is about war. Venus is about peace. Painting in very broad strokes here. So when Venus gets into the 11th house, this is where you can really possibly hear a lot of whinging. This is all coming from your friends, your social circles. Like everyone's just whinging and just complaining to you. So I expect that you're just going to be harboring a lot of energy and wiping away tears with people telling you that they've ended relationships, they're done and dusted with a work-life balance thing, they're done. Just could also see conflict. You could be having conflict with trying to resuscitate energy into a dream or a goal that you want to, connect with. So it might be feel for you like it's all just heavy going. And Venus can have you feeling like I just need to cut through the crap, but it's hard to feel completely on top of the world with Venus in detriment. That's for sure. And when it comes to your friends, your friends might really be struggling, or your social circles just feel like they're not harmonizing. No one's really coming together. So just expect a lot of tears, frustration from the 30th of April to June 5th coming from around you in your social circles and connections. And maybe you struggling with identifying what your dreams and goals are moving forward. You could just feel like you're in conflict and not too sure. So easy does it, Tiger, from the 30th of April to June 5th with Venus in rambunctious Aries. So that is your astrology for the month of April, Gemini rising. If you have any questions, you can email me at cosmicgirl101@protonmail.com. I can give you some information about my astrological services that maybe I can help you with. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. If you'd like to leave any comments in the comments section below, that'd be great. And if you're new to the channel and you're not a subscriber and you like what you hear, consider hitting that subscribing button for me, giving it a thumbs up. You can even share the video. So share it with someone near and dear to you and go, this is what I'm going through in the month of April. Give me some space, man. Feel free to do that as well. Okay, Gemini rising. Till next time, stay cosmic.